Media coverage of the homeschooling crackdown. Let's have a look. Good evening, everyone. Florian here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee, and I thought we'd have a look at some media coverage about the homeschooling crackdown that is being pushed here by the Queensland Labor Government. Now, if you haven't seen Rachel's video on that topic, it gives a fantastic overview of it. I will do my YouTube magic and link it somewhere around here. Otherwise, you can find it on the channel. Let's jump and have a look at this news coverage because not many people are talking about it. Now, I mean, it's understandable because homeschooling, it has become increasingly popular. Many people do it nowadays. A lot of people got a taste for it during the pandemic and said, why not? But still, it isn't mainstream. Not quite yet. So, homeschooling overhaul sparks a mixed reaction. Homeschooling is set to be overhauled in Queensland following a rapid rise in families choosing the option. Education Minister Di Farmer has introduced legislation to the Queensland Parliament that requires those schooled at home to follow the Australian curriculum in response to a surge. Now, here's the thing. To a normie, that sounds, that's fine and reasonable, following the Australian curriculum. Why not? Do you realize how many teachers struggle to even follow the curriculum? How many of them aren't able to get through the whole curriculum? What if you want to have school choice and pick a different curriculum? What if you want to mishmatch and take a few bits from other curriculums? What if you want to customize the education specific to your particular child or one of your kids? That choice is being removed. And, I mean, Australia really isn't a world leader in education outcomes, is it, at the moment? There was an almost 200% increase in homeschooling in 2023, with 10,048 students registered for home education in Queensland, up from 3,411 in 2019. Now, apparently, there's significantly larger numbers of people who aren't even in the system, aren't even registered, who don't just fly under the radar. So they're technically truants. And if anything, if this gets pushed through, you're going to have more people taking that option. There were 43,829 children registered for home education nationally in 2023, double the 21,966 students in 2019. So, I mean, there you go. And families who choose to homeschool, you have to make a sacrifice. It's costing our family the potential income that Rachel could be earning. And she's an educated professional with 2 university degrees. So it's not an insignificant sacrifice that people make. It's also saving the government, substantial money and not having to provide funding for those kids to be educated in the public system. Because it's not like you're getting, a credit towards you and you just choose to homeschool and then spend that credit on tutoring and private education, other things. I mean, honestly, that would be the ultimate outcome. If everyone in the country gets like $20,000 a year credit, token, or voucher that they can deploy however they want for their children's education, put it towards their public school, put it towards tutoring, put it towards this, that, or the other. What do you reckon? Maybe we'd get some more competition there. I know that's never going to happen in the current Australian way of things. But it's definitely something we need to draw public attention to change some ideas, change some minds. With the increase in the number of families choosing homeschooling, we need to make sure that the interests of the student are the priority. How would Miss Farmer know that? I mean, come on. The interest of the student, it's the parent's choice. Well, it should be. Especially in regard to their well-being and safety. We all know the dangerous environment that can occur in schooling. Wasn't it up in North Queensland? There was an attack at a school recently. All this other stuff, and this is what this legislation will do. Miss Farmer said, "Sure. Let's pretend it will. The move has been welcomed by some, but others have concerns about the impact enforcing the curriculum could have. I mean, my argument is the curriculum is too bloated here in Australia. They try and shove too much into the curriculum. I mean, our daughter did 1 term of schooling, and they only have 2 breaks now. They don't have 3 breaks like we did. And then they come home and they're spending hours on their bloody iPad doing schoolwork. All the homework. I think this was a few years ago, grade 3 or 4, I don't remember anymore, one of those. But that's when you come home and you're meant to play, or at least I remember coming home and playing. I remember wanting to come home and play on my Nintendo because I just had the Legend of Zelda. Or go out and climb trees, build cubby houses with friends, play Army. Probably can't do that anymore. It's probably politically incorrect. Kids probably don't play Army anymore. Home Education Australia said the mandate could lead to more parents taking their homeschooling underground, meaning their children would not be registered with the regulatory body. I mean, with regards to the curriculum, we develop our own, or Rachel does, with taking bits and pieces from the Australian curriculum, particularly reading, writing, and arithmetic. We just go straight with that. And then all of the other topics that we have to cover, we do as combined units with all the different kids together. But the focus, the most serious thing is the reading and the writing and the mathematics, because then you can train, well, the goal is to train your children to be self-directed learners so they can teach themselves. Once you get control of reading, you open up a whole world then. HCA's Samantha Bryan said most families registered with the home education unit were succeeding with homeschooling, even if they were not following the national curriculum. Yeah, if you have a look at Rachel's video, she'll show you the hoops she has to jump through at the HEU. Because, I mean, we're used to paperwork in the architecture field, you know. You get someone to do a National Construction Code compliance assessment of a building. Yeah. If children are already receiving a high-quality education, if the system is not broken, why are we trying to allegedly fix it, she told AAP. Now I'll put my tinfoil hat on. I think the education union and the teachers are all afraid that so many people are not needing them. I think it's control. Because this is the thing, all the politicians, they'll go, well, won't someone think of the children? It's for political power. So they want you in the system. They don't want children not being part of the system, so they're not indoctrinated to the current thing. And, teach them to be maybe a little skeptical about everything that's presented. Ms. Bryan said she would prefer an option for students to attend school part-time and more support for home educating families. Oh, you don't get any support. Families are making great sacrifices because they desperately love and care about the well-being of their child, she said. And, I mean, you want to spend time with your kids. This is the thing. We have, I work from home. So today I was working here in the office. The kids were out playing in the yard. You want them to be around. Although I'll pop my head out when it gets quiet, because then they're up to something. They're taking a piece of damper on the pile of dirt and they were sliding down and having a lot of fun. Some of these families would love to put their kids back in school. So I think a dual enrollment option, part-time home education, part-time school would be great. Yeah, there are a lot of people who have gone down this path because of traumatic instances at school, what's occurred there. Where, bullying and some of these issues. Our daughter was bullied when she went to school. She received a death threat from another child. And, even the bullying these days has gone bloody woke. Okay? She was bullied because she eats meat. How woke is this shit? You're getting vegans bullying on you. What's happened to Australia? Okay? It shows you're just going down the toilet. The bloody vegans are the bullies. Ah, boy. Back in my day. I'm getting old. Private homeschooling provider, UCA, already uses the Australian curriculum as the basis of its program. Founder Ellen Brown said parents could still tailor their child's education using the national curriculum. If you're a homeschooling family who prefers to learn in certain ways about certain things, then they may not spend as much time on some topics as others. Yeah, I mean, it's the problem with the curriculum is it's one size that fits all. It's too bloated. You know, we should do a video, probably a live stream. I'll try and get the live stream and working again, guys, and we'll go through the curriculum. There's a lot of flexibility in the way a child can learn and the way a family can structure it. We don't all have to do exactly the same thing. And I would also argue that just the old Prussian model of putting your little factory workers there and training them for 9 to 5 isn't the best, particularly for boys. Miss Brown and Miss Bryan are both homeschooled their children. They said homeschooling numbers were already growing before the COVID-19 pandemic. Miss Brown said there were many reasons parents elected to homeschool. It could be school refusal, it could be a bullying situation or a mental health crisis, she said. The Queensland Government has also announced $33 million boost for early childhood education aimed at building the sector's workforce. Now, we know why this is really happening. This is because they want to get more people working. They want to get the women working so they earn the tax dollars. That's what it is. And if you think housing is going to get cheaper, no. All of these things prop up house prices because you've got 2 people working. The funding includes $29 million in scholarship support for university students hoping to get... Why do you need a university degree for early childhood education? The research arguing for the benefits of it is questionable itself. I mean, you don't need to go to university to babysit. Okay? You do not. You should not spend 4 years of university study. We shouldn't have gotten to the point where you need that for babysitting, which is early childhood education. Come on. Anyone can read a book to them. Let's have a bit of a chat about this one, guys. So there we go. Some, media coverage about this homeschooling crackdown we're having here in Queensland. What do you reckon, everyone? It sounds reasonable, but it's removing school choice. We should be able to pick and choose how we educate our children. But, well, a lot of Australians aren't really very individual liberty or libertarian minded, are they? Very much state diktat coming down upon you. You must conform. You must do this. You must do that. Maybe people want a bit more freedom. What do you reckon, guys? Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this one. And if you haven't, check out Rachel's video. It's very good. And I will see you all in the next episode of HeiseSays. Bye for now.